Hi, Richard and I are back, and I'd like to talk about some of the folks that are running. And one in particular is Teresa Taylor. Yvonne, I believe, spent around $350,000 to get her elected to CalPERS. And I don't know if that number is factual or not, it's just a rumor. But I know that they spent money. But did anybody ask you if they could spend your union dollars for Teresa Taylor? Because no one asked me. So, and now she's running for secretary of our union. So that means she's going to be in charge of our retirement and how our union dollars are spent. That's kind of scary to me. It should be scary to you too. So I would suggest that we look into this to see if there's a conflict of interest, or just simply pick a different candidate except for Teresa Taylor. I would probably say maybe Lisa Adams may be a good choice to support, or either Crystal Casey. I think she may be between the two of them, but I don't think we should elect Teresa Taylor and have her have dual positions where it is revolving our money. I think that's a scary move, because if you go and Google Governor Brown's 2015-2016 budget proposal, or to the Sacramento Bee and type in state workers, January 9th, he says he's going to appoint for people to CalPERS to help with the retirement reform. And then we have Teresa Taylor there, and we have Yvonne, who's Jerry's Brown friend, associate, I don't know, girlfriend, I don't know. Anyways, they're in all that cahoots together. So I think that is really important that the members do their research on who we are electing to hold these statewide officers' position. And if you're tired of not getting representation, then do something about it. Make sure that when you get your ballot, because they're going to be mailed April 20th, make sure you video copy it so you can keep it, so you can have proof of who you voted for. Because like I said in the last segment, it takes a lot to stop the corruption. And state employee unions have a free will more. They're not as scrutinized, and they don't have to go through the accounting as much as other unions do. So they have a little bit of leeway when it comes to how they spend our money. So if you're concerned, or if you care, or even if you don't care, I think this is the time that you should say, hey, you know, I would like to see my union go in a different direction. I'd like to know where my union dollars are going and hold people accountable. And then just say, for example, if you're Republican, you're not a Democrat. So why would you vote for who the union selected? I think that we need to get out of politics, and we need to get into representation to make sure that members have the best working conditions that they could possibly have. I just read an article on my Facebook page where this guy was bragging in Atlanta, Decoder, that he was in the DMV and out in less than 20 minutes because they have a new system that works and there's no long lines. So I would like to see something like that come to California. I would like to see where we're improving state services for the taxpayers, and at the same token, they look at us and view us in a better light, rather than saying we're lazy state employees. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Richard and let him give you a...
All right. I want to go back and touch on some of the things that she said. What she's really saying, Jackie, is we need a person that has integrity. I stated in the first segment that Yvonne Walker doesn't have the courage. She runs her own personal business. And what I'm saying here in the second segment, and Jackie's saying the same thing, Yvonne Walker doesn't have the integrity. And unfortunately, the other candidates running for president, they do not have the integrity. And so I'm going to give you a constructive alternative. I have the integrity. If you go to my website, you will see my voting record is up. You will see where I testified for voter fraud for Dr. Richard Pan years ago, back in 2012. But I want to take this a step further. I have stated, and I will restate this. I'll show you my pay stub. I'll show you my tax return. I'll show you my credit report. because I believe in transparency. Unfortunately, current leadership does not believe in transparency because Yvonne is running her own sole business. So it doesn't benefit her to tell you where the money is being spent. If you elect me as your new president, I promise you, all of our financial records for the union will be transparent and on the internet and subject to review by the members. I've stated this before in the past. You can look up a state worker's salary on the internet. However, since we take your money the way the law set up with the Ralph C. Dills Act, we take your money and yet we won't tell you where the money is really being spent. And I'm not saying just where they want to tell you. I'm talking the entire financial record. I'm talking the financial record they report to the IRS, the Form 990, a detailed summary of every dollar that is spent in our union. This must be done. And when she stated about videotaping or photocopying your ballot, this is why Jackie is saying this so strongly. She has witnessed things in the past that did not seem above reproach when it came to counting the ballots. I simply say this: if a person will not tell you where the money is being spent, why would you trust that person to be in charge of counting the vote? Now, by the bylaws, they state there's an independent auditor that sends out the ballots and counts the ballots. But too many union members have told me that there's still something not right about how they count the ballots in this voting process. It's not transparent enough. So they give you the appearance that everything is on the up and up, but in all actuality, there's a perception out there that it's not. And I'm stating to you that if you elect me as your president, this perception of fraud and abuse, whether it's in financial matters or in counting the ballots and voting in the elections, will be eliminated because I will make things totally transparent. Now, when I make this statement, this is a type of statement that does not make me look like a politician, because politicians can't make statements like this. And this is why I'm the only person running for leadership as the president that will tell you this, because I don't look at myself as a politician. I look at myself as a person that wants to represent you and be honest with you. And if the vision that Jackie and I share to have 100% due-paying membership, we have to start by first showing everyone in our union that we're not corrupt, that we're going to spend the money correctly. She makes another point about Republicans, and since we're a union, usually we vote towards the Democrats. Over the years, it seems the Democrats have taken our votes lightly and for granted. If you remember correctly, Governor Schwarzenegger was able to pull off his furlough because the state government, the state legislature, approved it. And we know that both houses, the state assembly and the state senate, are controlled by Democrats. But yet, the media tells you that we have so much influence. And I'm here to tell you that we don't have as much influence as the media states that we have. And so we have to start doing things differently. And I know a lot of us want us to get out of politics. Before we can do that, we have to first take a look at how we spend our money. Because once you see how we spend our money, where the money's going, now you can start making decisions as a group where we should continue to spend our money. But Yvonne Walker will never show you the transparency of showing you the financial records, because then the truth may come out that there's money being spent in areas that the members would not approve of. This is unfortunate. So when we talk about integrity, we talk about transparency, we talk about doing the right thing to represent our members, there's only one person that can get that done for you, and that's myself. And I have my evidence already up on my website. So we'll end on this note on integrity, to give our members total transparency in financial matters, to remove all the doubt of corruption and wasteful spending. And one last note, when I state that Yvonne Walker is running her own sole business and she doesn't really represent you, how is she going to fight to say no to pension reform when she doesn't even have a contract with the current staff of our union? She won't give them a contract. And if she won't give them a contract, how do you feel she's going to fight for our next contract if it doesn't benefit her? That's a question you have to ask yourself before you vote. Do you want the same of the past, or do you want someone that's going to challenge the status quo, someone that's going to inspire you, touch your heart, that's going to ask you to do things that he will do himself, that's going to enable you to be successful, which is protect your money? Thank you very much. I'm Richard Lewis Brown.
Thank you.